Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. You know it is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. And also, too, put a like on the video. Watch it all the way to the end. If you like it, put a like on the video. It would be much appreciated. Tells YouTube to put our videos out there to make them known. Also, too, if you've already subscribed and you're a new subscriber, welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And also to my veteran subscribers, as always, much love to you for all that you do and the support you show us on the channel. Helping watch the videos from beginning to end, each one of them, so this way it adds more time, so we work towards monetization. But now we're down to why we're here today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to go to the action screen, believe it or not, and we will see what is cooking. I already brought it up, so I figured I'd get a jump start on it. So right here we go. Let me go ahead and fix the screen a little bit. Obviously, it doesn't look like it's... There we go. Like I told y'all, when it comes to when I make the videos, I do it from beginning to end. I don't cut anything out. You see it as it is, and that's the way I finish it off on, when I do the exporting, the final exporting to the drive, and then it goes to YouTube. So I'm not in there cutting and pasting the videos. You get them as you see them. All I do is add a little something in here or there, like make sure you subscribe. Or, I might throw in there once in a while, make sure you put a like on the videos, positive likes, stuff like that. So, it's just to encourage everybody to come on to the channel and, let's get it going. Especially when I'm seeing that YouTube ads are getting 1 million views, and I'm looking at how many views I'm getting, and I'm doing full videos. That kind of brings me to that enlightenment. All right, why we're here today is AMD Ryzen 8000 Strix Point APUs could feature 4 Zen 5 and 8 Zen 5C cores. Okay, that's the lineup. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to read it out to y'all. So this is what I found out on techspot.com. So make sure you check them out. I don't put the links on the description is because, sometimes when I do that, YouTube kind of gets upset about that, putting the links in there because I'm not fully monetized, and they kind of think that I'm doing it for a promotion. So if you don't see them in the description, I do apologize. I don't put them there because I don't want anybody to think that I'm, not monetized and I'm making something off of it, which I'm not. This is basically me to you and the video. YouTube's not paying me. None of these places are paying me. Just to let you know that. But anyway, get back to the video here. In brief, having launched its first of Zen's Ryzen 7000 series processor last year, AMD is working on successor that are tipped to be announced in 2024. To be marked under the Ryzen 8000 moniker. Hopefully I said that right. The Strix Point APU could be feature up to 12 Zen 5 class cores. So now, just a little bit of an insight before we go on. Now, to let you know this, okay. Now, the Ryzen 7 5700G has 8 cores, or what they say, You know what I mean? It has like they say, um, it has like 12. It has 12 cores. You know, my bad. It's just a long day. But the 5700G has 8 Zen cores. Okay. Now the 5600G has 7 Zen cores. Basically the Vega. The Vega series, DDR4, 5600G and 5700G is the Vega series. And that's built-in integrated graphics. Just to let you know that. This is all dealing with integrated graphics. So, back to what we're talking about on the action screen. There we go. Okay, so the Strix Points APU features up to 12 Zen 5 class cores and an integrated GPU based on RDNA 3.5. Okay, info comes from Prolific Tipster Golden Pig Upgrade, who revealed a few key aspects of the Ryzen 8000 monolithic APU on Chinese social media site Bilby, HTHXL. It's worth noting that alongside the monolithic design, some Ryzen 8000 APUs are also expected to feature a chiplet design, but the latest leak didn't reveal anything about it. Wow. So, according to the new info, the Strix Point monolithic APU could feature a hybrid CPU design with a single CCD and a dual CCX, while one of the CCX is tipped to the feature 4 Zen 5 CPU cores and 8 threads. So 5 core, 8 threads. Wow. I wish they would have made it 10 threads. That would kind of make it a little bit more simplified. But the others is said to come with 8 Zen cores, with 8 Zen 5C CPU cores, and 16 threads. Oh, okay. For a total of 12 cores and 24 threads, the chip could also come with a total of 24 megabytes of L3 cache, with the Zen 5 CCX accounting for 16 megs and the Zen 5C CCX sporting 8 megs. And this is brought by HXL, which they point it out right here. You can look at it. Here's the site. So we're looking at it could come out to 2024 or 2025. Okay, let's get down to the brass tacks of it all. So what they're saying is this: make sure you get your drinks and your snacks with you. What they're saying is this. Basically, they're coming out with a new CPU, iGPU. Well, they call it APU for desktops. Okay, comes out with the 12 cores and 24 threads. So if they do a 12 core, 24 thread CPUs, or they do the 8 core, 16 threads CPUs, or they could be coming up with a whole list of integrated graphics for the new series. So, and from what it looks like to me, they're saying, the Zen 5 series. Okay. Now, if I remember right, DDR4 is at Zen 3. DDR5 is at Zen 4. So what are they coming up with Zen 5? You know, they got APUs coming out in Zen 5. So we hope that those Zen 5 processors will adapt to the Zen 4 motherboards, which is the AM5 series motherboards. You hope that they will. Now, if they do, we're going to kind of look at a price. You know, the price isn't going to be cheap. They are not going to be cheap. You're going to look at, they're going to have prices up between probably starting out at $400 and up, knowing them, because they think that, you know, giving you an extra handful of cores for your iGPU, that it's going to make a difference. The only way it's going to make a difference is if they had 24 of them. You know, if they had 24 of them that is coming down for an iGPU, then it would be close to equaling that out to about maybe, if 6,000 series GPUs, maybe up to about maybe, I know it's definitely going to be higher than you know, some of the ones that are out here today, but to have a handful of, you know, you look at integrated graphics are going to be a little bit different than your regular discrete graphics. The reason is because now you're dedicating your system RAM to your integrated graphics, and now you're dedicating, like you do with the discrete graphics card, more RAM to the graphics. So you're going to have a dedicated amount of RAM that's going for the textures, the texture manipulation and everything else for the integrated graphics. And then, you know, you're going to have, you know, your normals. So what I'm hoping is this. Now with the 5700G and the 5600G, you can take and dedicate 16 gigabytes of RAM to those if you got above 32 gigabytes of system RAM. Okay, now I got 64 gigabytes of system RAM. I plugged the 5600G into this computer with this motherboard. I can go and run without a graphics card and run the integrated graphics. I could dedicate 16 gigabytes of RAM to the textures. You know, they have a way you can dedicate it to the textures and then split up the other bit. Because you figure if you're dedicating, you know, a full 32 gigabytes of RAM to the integrated graphics, and you're dedicating 32 gigabytes of RAM to the system, that's 64 right there. That's your 64 gigs of RAM. And that's pretty much what it based out to when I used the 5600G on this motherboard, this B550 motherboard. So basically, it gave me 16 gigs of RAM. That's more or less saying, like, you know, the 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte on iGPU. Probably get the same performance. You never know. If you get the same performance from that you do the iGPU, AMD iGPU, I would tell you this, you would be shocked. But I hate to tell you all this, you know, the 4060 Ti 16 gigabytes don't give you that much of performance. I know NVIDIA, don't get mad at me because I say that, you know, that integrated graphics are going to start catching up with you on your low-end graphics cards. Do not get mad because I'm telling you that. I mean, seriously, do not be mad because I'm telling you that. All right. Which they are. They're going to start catching up. People are going to start realizing that they rather have their graphics on a processor, which the graphics are closer to the processor than the discrete graphics card is. Because you got all that extra travel that causes latency. You can minimize the latency on your graphics if you went with an integrated graphics. Now, if they kind of make them better instead of making them just like simplified, if they make them just as good as a discrete graphics card on integrated graphics, I would tell you something. A lot of people would be switching over to the integrated graphics compared to a graphics card. This way they can open up those channels and putting more power back into the system instead of dumping 275 to 300 watts of power into a discrete graphics card when you're only dumping like 45 watts to 55 watts into integrated graphics. So, do the math. It's not hard. I mean, the 5600G, I can lock in the integrated graphics. I can lock the speed on the graphics to 2300 megahertz. That's as high as it'll go, is 2300 megahertz. Now, if they make it just like they do a discrete graphics card and they put it onto the processor and, they do a little bit of their tricks here and there, I bet you they would have a slamming processor. It would be like a processor people would be paying. I mean, you pay, let's say for a decent processor, you pay $300 for a decent processor, but add $200 more, and now you got a discrete graphics card built onto your processor. And guess what you got? You got 2-in-1. You don't need the extra heat from a graphics card because guess what? You don't need it. I'd rather see it built onto the processor and them upgrade the processor that way and see what they can do about putting, bigger and better and badder graphics for integrated graphics than they do for discrete. Because I'd rather have the integrated graphics than I do the discrete graphics card. Well, the discrete graphics card is fine, but if they give you the same, functionality that you can get off of a discrete graphics card, I'm sure it would be a lot better than worse. So, that's just my opinion. Because you're going from a piece of wire that might be about yay long to about a piece of wire that's about yay long. So where's the latency there? Your discrete graphics card still got to flow through the system RAM. So what's the difference? It's still got to use the processor for part of the system RAM. So why not use it with the iGPU? It makes more sense because it's closer to the RAM than a discrete graphics card is. Oh, because of the power. That's the reason why. Oh, because it doesn't absorb enough power. Well, if they can make it small, big, and bad, and they want to go down to like dinky, they want to make it like this size, let's see if they can do it for integrated graphics. And make it the die size about this big. About this big. I bet you they can get it down to maybe one little, like, let's say is like about a quarter inch square, and do a GPU die that's quarter inch square that, you can get better graphics off of your processor. I think doing discrete graphics cards is fine, but for people that can't afford discrete graphics cards, especially the price today, I would recommend integrated graphics. So if they got a new high-end motherboard with integrated graphics that are like, will blow your mind, you know, and I want you to think about that. If you got integrated graphics on a new end motherboard that will blow your mind, you'll start selling some of the AM5 series. You'll start selling that AM5 series. But, you know, they don't. They don't capitalize on it. The discrete graphics, they don't capitalize on it. They tried to put a little bit of discrete graphics on these new processors, these X3D processors. Maybe. Who knows? I haven't tried it yet. Reason why I haven't tried it yet, because I haven't seen the true need to go up to that next level. Not yet. But I will someday. Hold the phone, hold the phone, hold the phone. I'm breaking into the video really quick just to say this. AM5 series, when they first come out with there's a couple of the processors that come with integrated graphics. And from what I see from many reports, that they actually suck when it comes to integrated graphics. So we're going to see what they come out with this new 8000 series, if it sucks or not. Just to let you know that. Now let's get back to the video. You will see that. But I want to be able to test a system without a graphics card that's got integrated graphics that's better than a graphics card, that will run with 64 gigs of RAM on the motherboard at high speed. Just the motherboard, the processor, the RAM, and the SSD drive. No graphics card whatsoever. I want to see myself if they can build something that's really going to take and push the limit of integrated graphics. I really do. I mean, could you imagine, and get this, could you imagine trying to overclock and do like many reviewers done these overclocking videos where they use that, you know, that cold nitrogen and stuff like that, just to get it to overclock to a certain point? Imagine trying to do an iGPU like that. That would be a real challenge. You know, that would be a real challenge to get an iGPU to overclock like that on a processor. Never been done. I've never seen any videos on it. Excuse me. Never been done, but I would like to see it. And if you all would like to see something like that, make sure you leave a comment below and let them know, because I know they monitor, you know, the comments. Let them know that, you know, it would be interesting to see if they can make integrated graphics just as good for overclocking, you know, on these Steam games. You know, let them know that that's something that needs to be seen. That that you all like to see integrated graphics break out of its shell and just come up to the top over all these discrete graphics cards. And especially at a lower price. You know how much money you're saving on a lower price end by doing that? You save a lot of money doing that. I mean, if you get, you know, they take a $200 CPU, they add integrated graphics and make it $300 CPU. Okay. And they're only spending $200 for the CPU, and you're only spending $100 for the GPU. And it's all built into one. So your motherboard handles, you know, HDMI and DisplayPort. Why put it on the motherboard if you're not going to use it? That's my point. But anyway, I gave you all my 2 cents on that and this 8000 that they got coming out. let's see what AMD's got cooking there. If I hear more on it, I will let you all know. But if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Also, too, welcome all new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And also, too, my veteran subscribers, thank you for all that you do, watching the videos and everything else, and helping to support the channel. You know, if you want to help support the channel, subscribe. You want to help the channel, watch all the videos. I got over 300 plus videos. Watch them from beginning to end. Each one of them. That will put more on the clock and get us towards monetization. That supports the channel. So, because no sponsorship, what do you want me to do? All I'm trying to do is get everybody to subscribe. You know, that way it moves us forward. Once we get to the 1,000 mark, we can move forward and go to the next best things. I would like to do a cool t-shirt for y'all. A really cool t-shirt. You know, I really would. There's much more to come. We got plenty of time. We got plenty of years to go. So let's try to make the best of it. Get out there, y'all. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your sisters, brothers, cousins, uncles, all of them. Come on down and subscribe. So, until the next time and the next video, this is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on the next one. Oh, and P.S. Yes, I did shave. Did you not see it? Y'all take care.